what you can tell us about what is happening in 2026.
Well, we had a lot of conversations today, obviously trying to narrow things down. A lot of good conversations, some hard ones, but obviously I think that the more difficult conversations you have in spring, it says something about the depth you have. And the biggest focus we have this time of year is just retaining depth. It's opening day is important, but the other 161 matter a lot as well, and just making sure we retain depth. So, sometimes the guy that might have played the best in spring might go down, but it's important to make sure that we maintain as many good players as possible for the whole season.
Sure. With someone like Morel, how tough is the balance of he can help us at the big league level, but we also want him to develop?
That's the biggest thing is he's got to get at bats, he's got to play. Having him on the bench and playing once a series or getting 3 at bats a series doesn't make any sense for his development. And use everyone during the course of the season. He's going to help us a ton, but making sure he gets off to a good start is playing a lot, playing well. That's the most important thing. And then when we have a need where he's going to play a lot, we can certainly bring him up.
And what did you see in Miles this spring, especially maybe not the WBC that you liked?
Yeah, he's a good player. He does a lot of things well. He can play infield, he can play outfield, gives a really quality at bat. He's a good base runner. I mean, really, I think he impressed the entire staff with how he plays the game and the way he can do a lot of little things to help contribute to winning.
And that's a good conversation. How did that one go?
Yeah, he was excited. I mean, I think especially when someone's first opening day, it's always really fun to watch. Like I said, there's 161, but that first one matters. You get the lineup on the line and be on an opening day roster. It's always fun to tell people they made the first one.
Speaking of the WBC, Javier aside, he looked really good at the WBC. Just how much did that play a role, and how excited are you to see what he can do in that bullpen?
Yeah. Well, last year also played a big role. He threw great down the stretch. His stuff ticked up this year in the bullpen during the WBC, and he's a really good pitcher. And I think he's pretty, he's unflappable. So knowing he's not going to get rattled in the big leagues, he's going to continue to pitch the same way. It's a fun spring to watch him both on TV and here.
Check in on some of the injuries. Let's start with Brandon Hughes. He was supposed to pitch today. We know that he pitched in the bullpen. Just kind of anything you know about him and his knee and how he's developed. Yeah,
the expectation is he'll start the year on the IL. Hopefully it's not very long, but we want to make sure he gets right for the length of the season. And he's just had a on and off spring with this knee injury flaring up, and so we want to make sure he's right for the length of the season and not rush that. So I think my expectation is he starts the year on the IL.
And Seiya Suzuki, we know if he's getting at bats, or not at bats, but playing in a minor league game today. He's done some BP, just how he's progressing.
Yeah, he's taking a lot of BP. He's playing the field in minor league games and progressing well. I mean, our hope is that he keeps on progressing well, can play in minor league games here next week, and then from there, hopefully do a rehab assignment. Somewhere in the minors where it's warm, you can go start getting at bats. He'll probably be in the next week or so. So he's doing well, but we just want to get him healthy and get him to Chicago.
And how about Kyle Hendricks? He's doing.
He's throwing great. He's doing another heavy bullpen today. I think he faces live hitters here over the next week, and I think it's been as positive a March as possible for him in terms of how his bullpens have gone, how he's recovered from those bullpens, and we just want to keep that up. And that was good multitasking, avoiding the basketball and interviewing. I think he's had like I said, March has gone as well as possible, and I hope he just keeps progressing the way he is. But every day on the injury report and every day you see him in person, he says his arm feels great, and that's the most important thing.
Keegan Thompson, I know the velocity dipped a little bit, but what have you seen lately? Ross mentioned it seems like he's going free and easy now.
He's been climbing. I think some of that velocity is just getting his mechanics right, and his velocity has been like I said, been climbing over the last couple outings, and hopefully when you put the big lights on it'll click up a little bit more. But I don't expect him to be at his top velocity going into the season, but I think it'll keep climbing, and he's just a really good pitcher. He manipulates the ball really well. He can really pitch, and he's definitely going to help us.
Another fun conversation from the other day, Hayden Wesneski and what he did this spring and picking up from last season, just kind of what you've seen from him and being able to talk to him about being that roster. Yeah,
I think he made that decision really easy the way he threw, but like you said, it was a continuation of last year. He threw great last year and kept it going here, and I know we talked about the fifth starter spot, but our hope is certainly he pitches a lot better than a fifth starter, and he certainly looked a lot better than that this spring.
Yesterday it was quite a display from Dansby Swanson on defense. Just what have you seen from him and how he's adjusting and being a part of this team and getting ready for his first opening day?
Yeah, he's getting ready. I think that obviously he's struggled a little bit at the plate, but he's worked hard to find it, and that's just the nature of spring training. Certain guys will be hot and certain guys will be cold, just like in season. But no concern at all there. It was nice to see him hit a homer Hopefully that, it always feels good to hit your first homer of the year. But defensively, he was amazing yesterday. And I just thought yesterday's game was really fun to watch in general. Like, that's how I hope we play. Nico made a great play. Dansby made a bunch of great plays. Steele threw well. We hit some homers. Like, that was a really fun game to watch, and hopefully like a harbinger of things to come.
Part of yesterday was an hour 57.
I know, right?
Your take on what you've seen from the rule changes and how good. Players are adjusting and just how it feels and looks. Yeah, I
got an excited call from Theo on that one. He was excited about the sub 2 hour number, but yeah, no, it's great. It's great that the games move like that. We've been joking that you roll from here, and then you might do something and then grab dinner. But now it's like you got this break. You're like, what do I do between 3:30 and 5 now? It's nice to have those hours back. And I felt like the good thing about that pace was that it was a fun game. Great defense, 3 homers, good pitching. It wasn't the kind of game when you kind of leave the ballpark and say I didn't get my money's worth, but it was in 2 hours, and so I thought that was awesome. And I hope we have a lot more games like that to come.